Hello, students. It is that time of year again where we start to think about registration for the upcoming school year. So this screencast is for our rising 7th and 8th graders to make sure you understand how that registration process will work for you. Please follow along. There's 3 steps to being registered. The first 2 are done at home with a parent or guardian, and the third one is done at school with your advisory teacher. Step 1 is for you to learn about next year's classes by reviewing our registration materials that we'll have for you. Step 2 is for you to complete a pre-registration Google form at home with a parent or guardian. And then lastly, you'll receive a summary email after you complete step 2, and you are to show up to school with that email ready to go, and we will register in Infinite Campus in advisory with the support of your advisory teacher. So the first place you'll start is with a registration guide that you should receive in advisory on February 13th from your advisory teacher. It lists those 3 steps on the left-hand side, as well as the required and elective choices that you have as a rising 7th or rising 8th grader. You don't need to return this piece of paper to school. You can simply use it as a reference for you. Step 1 is to learn about next year, and you could do that on the left. You see a link to a course guide that lists information about each of the course offerings for that grade level, as well as a link to our registration resources, which are screencasts that might help you better understand what next year will look, sound, and feel like. Once you are done learning all you need to learn about next year, the second step in your course guide is to pre-register, and that is to be done with a parent or guardian. And it should be done by the night of February 21st. We'll go over this at a calendar view in a little bit later in the screencast, but this Google form should be done at home by the night of February 21st, because we will be registering officially using this information in advisory on the 22nd and the 23rd. A quick heads up is that this Google form is set up to be filled out from your student account. So if you feel like you don't have access to it for some reason, or your parent says they can't access it, that is because it is only allowed to be filled out from an Edina Schools account. We have it that way so we can collect your email addresses and make sure that we know who is completing it. Once you finish step 2, you're going to get an automatic email to your school account with a PDF that lists an overview of the classes that you chose. I want you to keep it accessible until February 22nd and 23rd, when we will be registering in advisory. And I just said all this. So keep this PDF again until we register in advisory. Here's a quick calendar recap that's going to illustrate this for you in a visual way. February 13th is when we kick off registration. It's probably when you're watching the screencast. You are to complete steps 1 and 2, learn about next year's classes and do the pre-registration form at home with a parent or guardian by the night of February 21st. And then on the 22nd and 23rd, we will be inputting those offerings or those selections into Infinite Campus during advisory, and the registration window officially closes on February 24th. Again, if you're interested in learning more, you could go to our website, review your course materials. You can reach out to the office, you or a parent and guardian, or definitely contact me or our counselors. And we are happy to help you understand what might be the right offerings or options for you next year as a 7th or 8th grade student. Thanks for your attention to this, and have a great rest of your day.